Welcome back to Magic Gathering Strat. There's been some goblins in the metagame. Here is GarH doing 4-0 on the 18th. And also Mikey K, the Pauper to the People podcast host, who has also done a lot of YouTube videos. A great inspiration to aspiring YouTubers such as myself. Is reputed to have gone 4-0 very recently with goblins. And if you look at the metagame, this page is just amazing. You will find goblins here on 6th place. I'll include a link to this site in the show notes. So goblins is a force. So I did some work on my goblins deck. And this is what I came up with. So I'll post a list in the show notes as well. This is what I'm currently playing, and observe that I'm not copying someone else's list here because I've been working on the Goblins deck for quite some time. I'm not convinced that Foundry Street Denizen is a real card in Goblins, but all the lists are playing for him, so it probably is. I only own one, so I'm gonna play it. If it's good, I'm gonna replace the Matron with it, and if it's really good, I think I have to cut down on Chain Lightnings and replace them with Foundry Street Denizens. So yeah, he is a goblin, so he fits quite well in the deck. And I thought I would take this and do some tournament practice. So we like a game of Pauper. I'm shooting video for Magic Gathering Strat. So let's see, the only Goblins match we have covered so far is Goblin versus Burn and Goblins versus Hexproof. We should be able to dodge that. Please let me know what you think about the specials yesterday when I played against Blue-Black Trinket Control. It's Emerish 85. Goblins like to play first. This looks like a great hand. So we are going conscripts. Done. And then we have Matron and Cohort for Bushwhacker. Cohort and then Matron for Bushwhacker. We're up against Affinity. It's not the matchup we have covered. So this will be the official coverage of Goblins versus Affinity. That's a pretty nice hand. Now I can actually bushwalk next turn. And the turn after that. Well, Frogmite will die horribly if he shows his ugly face this turn. Which I think he will. And there is! I want him to dud! And it's gotta be the Bushwhacker now. Getting a goblin every turn like this is pretty good. Yeah, he's blasting the conscripts, probably pretty good play. So instead of doing 8, I'm doing just 5. I'm gonna Matron for another Bushwhacker next turn. Mirror Enforcer should land now. But it doesn't, and that's probably quite good for me. Matron is definitely the worst goblin in the deck, but she's still better than Mogg Flank is. Getting a Bushwhacker. Might have been the wrong Goblin actually. Should have perhaps gotten a Sparksmith, but I'm starting to smell blood there. There will be a lot of damage next turn. And I could possibly win. Okay, this is actually in my new sideboard plan. So the plan here is to... I'm very, very skeptic to Gorilla Shaman actually, because he's just so expensive. So Smash the Smithereens does the same thing, but better. But I'm two of them in the sideboard. I'm bringing them in. What was that? I brought in the wrong card. What card was it? Jesus. Was that the Sparksmith? Yeah, well, that might not be that bad. We are taking out Chain Lightnings. We are taking out Death Sparks. We are taking out 2 Sledders. And we should be good to go. Oh, the deck is being very kind to us. Goblins is a very, very uneven deck. The draws can just screw you over so bad. But here we're just raining conscripts, and that's what we want to do. It's conscripts and cohorts. That's what we want to do all day. And sometimes with a little lightning bolt in between. Next turn I can both cast Raider and Cohort, but it's probably wrong to do so as I have to enable all these guys to attack. So I'm casting the Cohort next turn. Next turn will be the turn the fat dude arrives, but there's another fat dude. Okay, so we gotta change the plan here. We will cast Teetering Peaks, targeting this guy. Attack into Carapace Forger. Oh my god. What a misplay. Oops. Okay, remember to play your creatures before the attack phase in the Goblin deck. To my defense, this is my 5th match with Goblins ever. And I'm 1-3. And that will probably cost me the game. I think I'm correct to wait here for a Bushwhacker, but it's just... oh, I'm just in huge problems now. And I don't want to start trading. But this guy will sort things out. And I think I'm gonna play the cohort here. To prevent him from just galvanic blasting a goblin when I Sparksmith. So what is the plan here, really? Sparksmith is dead. Do I start a double block here? I can still hit him for as much as he hits me for. That guy is trouble. That guy is trouble personified. Right now I would very much like to have a Gorilla Shaman. I think it's not too many artifacts he can get rid of, but in the long run He can do quite some damage. Am I supposed to play the Raider here? What am I afraid of? Not much. I'm still doing quite some damage with the Bushwhacker. Paying the echo cost. Now I'm playing a Sledder. Ah, Bushwhacker, where are you? So how much damage will a Bushwhacker do, really? It's 5 goblins getting through. It's a huge chunk of damage. But right now, not much is happening. Hoverguard will change all that, but on the other hand, he's quite slow. And now I'm happy I have the Matron in the deck, so I can actually have 5 Bushwhackers to draw into instead of 6. Instead of 4. But Hoverguard will do some damage. And he definitely has lethal damage on the board. And I'm just drawing land. Maybe 18 land is too much with the peaks. Really a shaman here. Smash the Smithereens, anything but land. Oh no. Okay, we are now we are now in a world of hurt, and we have 3 turns to live. He has plenty of blockers. We get a count with our Galvanic Blast, so we estimate death next turn. What about attacking with everything? I will get through only 4 points of damage. Well, I'm dead soon, so let's do it. This is my all-out charge. We have 2 blockers. We need 4 blockers, but we can always sacrifice the War Marshall for an extra blocker, so that's 3 blockers. Killing the Frogmite is fine. The Ato will never die. So we will sacrifice the guy that's supposed to die to the Atog to help the guy who is fighting the Mirror Enforcer. So I'm sacking a Goblin. I'm sacking the guy fighting the Mirror Enforcer. No. I am sacking a guy. I'm sacking... This guy is getting plus. I'm sacrificing him. And that's it. So he let Atog die. That's interesting. Okay. So that's pretty sweet. I still have the blockers I need. I might live another turn. He's hydroblasting the conscript. Well, doesn't do much, does it? We're sacrificing him to give this guy +1. That's the attack. We are sacrificing the Mogg War Marshall. How much damage can we do with a Bushwhacker next turn? It's enough, right? It's 3, 5, 7, 9. I think it's enough. I can't count. Well, the die has been cast. I'm blocking to survive. And hoping to draw a Bushwhacker. Oh, sorry for making that stupid mistake in the start. And now we are dead. Yes. We will insanely attack with everything here. There is no way, even if we played... we'll just concede. Should always play creatures before the... Oh my god, I'm playing bad, but as I said, it's my 5th match. Okay, it's the last round and we are up against Emmerich. That Lifestaff should be in our deck, and there is one more Sledder that should not be. So, because we need Lifestaff to make the goblins bigger so they can mess with the 4 power creatures. Well, another great hand. I think the guy who goes first has a real chance of winning in this matchup. We always want to have a conscripts first. I'll include another cool link in the show notes where about Grusbus telling you about the goblin deck. And I'll include the meta game, and I'll include the GarH list. A link to that list, and my own deck list. I hope Emmerich is still here. Yes, he is. Okay, let's bring this home for the goblins. My next turn play is War Marshall. And for once I will let War Marshall go. And not pays upkeep. Or maybe I will. It depends a bit on what things look like. But hitting him next turn with the Bushwhacker seems like a very attractive option. Especially if he doesn't play the Frogmite now, but of course he always plays the Frogmite. Okay, so my option here is letting War Marshall go, play Bolt Bushwhacker. That's 9 damage. On the other hand, could pay and Bolt. That's 4 damage, and next turn play... there will be a huge guy next turn. I think I need to let him go. There'll be a huge guy in the way next turn. So I am letting him go. Sorry, War Marshall. Still 2 1/1s for 2. Just like Krenko's command. Lightning Bolt, your guy. Bushwhacker. It's a substantial hit. But we have used our entire hand to accomplish that. A Tog. I'm happy to smash guys into Atog here actually. Another Bushwhacker would be the nuts. Peaks on a random Goblin. Mogg Raider. And swing. Yeah, that's another 5 damage, so he's now in Fireblast range. And he needs to sacrifice the artifact, so then I can give another Goblin +1. For another point, so he's now in both Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning range, but I don't have Chain Lightning in my deck anymore. Oh, looks good. And he must now stop me from scoring 3 points of damage next turn. But any Goblin that's unblocked can get through. He could, though, defend with a Galvanic Blast. That's a pretty good Galvanic Blast. But I think I have enough reach to take the beat down. Uh-oh. Okay, attacking is probably not an option anymore. Unless nothing. I need to draw a burn spell. Oh, I get him down to 1. But I'm all out of Death Sparks, all out of Lightning Bolts. So I'm gonna save the Bushwhacker. So I can go 5 creatures. The turn after next. But he is now capable of dealing a lot of damage. If he draws Fling, he might even finish me here, but I'm not gonna block. Even if he attacks with 1 creature, I got the win if I draw a Goblin. And he doesn't have an extra creature or removal spell. So I only need to get 2 Goblins through. This is interesting because Atog can now actually, they can do 22 damage. But he might have Fling. I need to block 1 of them. And I think that's the only block I'm gonna do. In that case he will do 18. And he might have Galvanic Blast and win through that. But if he has a blocker, which is more likely than Galvanic Blast, I will win if I only block with 1 guy. So that he has a blocker is more likely than that he has a Galvanic Blast or a Fling. Especially as 1 Galvanic Blast has been placed. That's only 5 cards. There are a lot more creatures left. But he does have the Fling. I think it's Fling. Probably is Fling. Looks like Fling mana. No, it's a Carapace Forger. And that means we really did a good calculation there, and it won us the game. Nice top deck is what I got, but I had that on hand. Thank you for watching Magic Gathering Strat, playing Goblins against Affinity.